My name is Elise Morgan, and 3 weeks ago I walked onto the stage at the annual company meeting and was introduced as the new Chief Executive Officer. 500 employees filled the auditorium. My former manager, Kevin, sat in the third row. His face went through confusion, recognition, then horror, as the board chairman explained that our company had merged with a larger firm and I would be leading the combined entity. Kevin had managed me 7 years ago, told me I was replaceable, overworked me, undermined me, made my life miserable for 18 months. Then I quit, built a career he couldn't imagine. Now I was his CEO. The announcement concluded with applause. I thanked everyone and outlined my vision for the company. Kevin sat frozen in his seat. After the meeting, he approached to congratulate me. I shook his hand professionally, said I looked forward to reviewing all department heads' performance. He understood the message. Replaceable indeed. I started at Meridian Solutions as a marketing coordinator at 26. Entry level, good salary, growth potential. The company sold software to mid-sized businesses, competitive industry. My manager Kevin ran the marketing department. He had 10 years of experience and constant need to remind everyone of his importance. From day one, he made clear that I existed to make his life easier. My ideas were his ideas. My work was his work. Credit flowed upward, blame flowed downward. Classic toxic management. For 18 months, I worked 60-hour weeks, nights, weekends. Created campaigns that drove significant revenue. Wrote proposals Kevin presented as his own. Managed client relationships he took credit for building. Every success became his, every problem became mine. I raised concerns to HR twice. Both times they said Kevin was a valuable employee with strong results. Maybe I needed to communicate better. Develop thicker skin. Be a team player. The message was clear. Kevin mattered. I didn't. I was replaceable. The breaking point came after a major campaign I developed. 6 months of work. New market segment. Innovative approach. The campaign exceeded projections by 40%. Generated $3 million in new revenue. Kevin presented the results to executives. Never mentioned me. Took full credit. Said his strategic vision drove the success. I sat in the back of that meeting watching him steal my work. Afterward, I asked to speak privately. Told him I deserved credit. He laughed. Said I was a coordinator executing his strategy. If I wanted credit, I should become someone worth crediting. Then he said the words I would never forget. You're replaceable. There are dozens of marketing coordinators who would love your job. Remember that before complaining about recognition. I resigned the next week. 2 weeks' notice. Professional and brief. Kevin seemed surprised, asked where I was going. I said a competitor. He said I was making a mistake, burning bridges. I would regret leaving. I smiled and said maybe, but I was willing to risk it. My exit interview with HR was honest. I detailed Kevin's behavior, credit theft, overwork, toxic management. They thanked me for feedback. Nothing changed. Kevin was too valuable. I was just replaceable. The competitor I joined was smaller, but healthier. Actual leadership. Collaborative culture. My ideas were credited properly. My work was valued. I thrived immediately. Within a year, I was promoted to senior marketing manager. 2 years later, director. I managed my own team, led major campaigns, built genuine client relationships. The company grew significantly. I was part of that growth visibly. My name appeared on proposals, presentations, industry publications. I was building a reputation separate from any manager's shadow. Year 4 brought an unexpected opportunity. Our CEO was retiring. The board wanted internal candidates for succession. I applied despite being young for the role. 33 years old. Limited executive experience. But I had delivered consistent results, built strong teams, understood the business deeply. The board interviewed 6 internal candidates. I prepared obsessively, presented a 5-year strategic vision, answered every question confidently. 2 weeks later, they offered me the position. CEO of a $40 million company at 33. I accepted immediately. Running a company was brutal education. I made mistakes, learned constantly, built an executive team I trusted. We focused on sustainable growth, client retention, employee development. Revenue grew 20% annually. We expanded into new markets. Acquired 2 smaller competitors. By year 3, under my leadership, revenue hit $80 million. We were becoming a major player in our industry. Larger competitors noticed, including Meridian Solutions. Have you ever left a toxic job only to surpass your former employer? Tell me in the comments. Year 5 brought acquisition discussions. A private equity firm wanted to consolidate our industry, create a larger combined entity. They approached both my company and Meridian. The deal structure was complex. My company would be the surviving entity. I would become CEO of the combined firm. Meridian would be absorbed. Their executives would report to me or be restructured. The financial terms were excellent. My equity stake would be worth 8 figures. More importantly, the combined company would be industry-leading. I could shape its culture, build something significant. I agreed to the merger. Due diligence took 6 months. Legal teams, financial audits, integration planning. I reviewed Meridian's entire organizational structure. Department heads, performance metrics, culture assessments. Kevin's name appeared as marketing director. He had been promoted since I left, managed a team of 20. His performance reviews were mixed.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Turn on bell notification to stay updated for more revenge stories.
Strong results, but concerning employee feedback. High turnover in his department. Multiple HR complaints about management style. Nothing actionable, but patterns were clear. He was still the same toxic manager, just with a bigger title. I could have fired him before the merger closed, restructured the department. But I wanted the announcement to happen naturally. Let him discover who his new CEO was in the most public way possible. The merger closed on a Tuesday. The company-wide announcement was scheduled for Friday. All-hands meeting. 500 employees from both companies. The board chairman would explain the merger, introduce me as CEO, outline the vision for our combined future. Standard corporate communication. Except for one employee, it would be anything but standard. Friday arrived with gray skies and nervous energy. Mergers created uncertainty, people worried about jobs, culture, leadership. I understood that anxiety. My remarks were prepared to address it directly. Clear vision. Commitment to best people from both companies. Focus on growth, not cuts. I arrived early, reviewed notes, put on my best suit, walked into the auditorium as employees filed in. I scanned the crowd and found Kevin. 3rd row. He was talking to colleagues, looking relaxed. He had no idea what was about to happen. The board chairman opened the meeting, explained the merger rationale, strategic fit, market position, growth potential. Then he introduced me, CEO of the combined entity, background in both companies, track record of results, vision for the future. As he said my name, I walked onto the stage. The room applauded politely. Merger announcements always got polite applause. Then I saw recognition spread through former Meridian employees. Some knew my name, remembered I worked there years ago. Kevin's face was visible from the stage, confusion, then recognition, then something like panic. The coordinator he called replaceable was now his CEO. I spoke for 20 minutes, outlined my vision, emphasized culture, meritocracy, recognition for results, zero tolerance for toxic behavior. Every point was standard CEO rhetoric, but Kevin heard the subtext. I was describing everything he wasn't, everything he failed to provide. I talked about credit belonging to people who did the work, about managers serving their teams, about building leaders, not gatekeepers. Former employees of mine nodded. They knew I meant it. Former Meridian employees looked cautiously hopeful. Maybe things would improve. Kevin looked ill. After my remarks, I opened for questions. Someone asked about job security. I said performance-based. Top talent from both companies would thrive. Poor performers would be addressed. Another asked about culture changes. I said we would evaluate everything. Keep what worked, change what didn't. Kevin said nothing. Just sat there processing that his career was now in my hands. The meeting concluded. I stepped off stage to polite applause that felt warmer than it started. People sensed something different, leadership that might actually lead. Kevin approached me afterward, extended his hand, said congratulations, said he didn't realize I had done so well. I shook his hand professionally, said thank you. He asked if we could talk sometime, catch up. I said of course. I would be meeting with all department heads individually. His was scheduled for next Tuesday. He nodded, said he looked forward to it. He didn't. He looked terrified, as he should. Replaceable people rarely survived my performance reviews, especially replaceable people who made others feel replaceable. The department head meetings were revealing. Strong leaders from both companies impressed me. Weak leaders revealed themselves quickly. Kevin's meeting was professionally painful for him. His metrics were mediocre. Employee retention in his department was worst company-wide. Feedback was consistently negative. When I asked about his management philosophy, he used buzzwords without substance. Team synergy, strategic alignment, innovation mindset. Empty language masking empty leadership. I took notes, thanked him for his time, said I would be making organizational decisions over the next month. 3 weeks later, I announced a restructuring. New leadership for marketing. Kevin would transition to an advisory role for 90 days, then exit the company. Generous severance, professional separation. He had the option to resign or be terminated. He resigned. Sent a brief email thanking the company for the opportunity. No mention of our history. No acknowledgement of irony. Just gone. Replaced by someone better. Someone who understood that employees weren't replaceable. Toxic managers were. I promoted Sarah, one of Kevin's former reports, to marketing director. She was brilliant and collaborative. Everything Kevin wasn't. Under her leadership, the department transformed, retention improved, results improved, culture improved. Turned out the problem was never the team, it was the leader. Once replaced, everything functioned better. The lesson wasn't subtle. Good people thrive under good leadership. Toxic leaders create toxic results. I built a company culture around that principle. The combined company exceeded projections. Revenue grew 30% first year. Employee satisfaction scores were highest in company history. We were recognized as a best place to work. Industry publications featured our turnaround story. CEO builds culture of recognition and accountability. Drives results through people development. The narrative was accurate. I did build that culture. Deliberately, consciously. As direct repudiation of everything Kevin represented. Every policy I implemented answered something he did wrong. Credit to people who earned it. Managers evaluated on team development. Zero tolerance for toxic behavior. The entire structure was designed to prevent anyone from experiencing what I experienced. Kevin reached out once after his departure. LinkedIn message. Said he was proud of what I had built. Said he always knew I had potential. Revisionist history. He knew nothing. Saw nothing. Valued nothing that wasn't his own advancement. I didn't respond. Some people don't deserve your energy even for correction. He was replaceable. I replaced him. That was sufficient communication. 7 years ago, Kevin told me I was replaceable. He was right in a way. I was replaceable in his toxic department, but I was irreplaceable everywhere else. I built a career, became a CEO, merged companies, restructured departments, and yes, replaced him with someone better, someone worthy of the role. Turns out everyone's replaceable. Some people just learn that lesson more publicly than others. Corporate revenge isn't dramatic. It's professional. It's structural. It's becoming the person with power to replace the people who once had power over you. Professionalism turned power. That's sufficient revenge. Quiet, permanent, undeniably satisfying. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to watch more revenge and inspiring stories that will make you excited like this one. Where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments and let us know what you think about this story.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Turn on bell notification to stay updated for more revenge stories.